The first time I knocked on her door, I wasn't sure what I was expecting. My hands trembled slightly, not because of fear, but because I carried a storm inside me that I couldn't quiet. I had been staring at my closet for what felt like hours, debating the clothes on the hangers as if they could make me invisible or perfect, and now, standing at her doorstep, I had finally admitted defeat. I needed help. I needed someone to tell me what to wear, someone to tell me I wasn't a mess. And she was the only person I could think of, my neighbor, my friend, and maybe, unknowingly, my heart. Before I could even form the words, she swung the door open. Her eyes caught mine, sharp and warm at the same time, and I felt an uncomfortable honesty settle in the air. "Are you blind?" she asked, half laughing, half serious. I froze. Her words weren't cruel, they were a slap of clarity. I had been circling my insecurities for months, thinking that the perfect dress, the perfect smile, the perfect everything, could make me worthy of love. And in that moment, she looked at me, not at my outfit, not at my imperfections, not at the carefully curated image I had built, and she said what I had been too afraid to hear for years: "I love you. If you believe in kindness, in second chances, and in the quiet bravery it takes to tell someone the truth, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, The Kindness Chronicles." That day became a turning point, though I didn't realize it immediately. I went home with my bag of clothes untouched, the world suddenly heavier and lighter at the same time. Her words haunted me, echoed through the silent apartment I had locked myself in for months. I had spent my life hiding behind humor, behind excuses, behind routines that left no space for vulnerability, and now vulnerability had found me whether I liked it or not. We had lived across the hall from each other for years, nodding politely in the hallway, exchanging small talk about mail and weather. I had noticed her before, noticed the way her laughter filled the stairwell, noticed how she always knew just when to leave me a cup of coffee when I had too many late nights, but I had never allowed myself to see her fully. I didn't realize it yet, but in those years of casual proximity, I had built my life around avoiding the very thing she now dared to confront: love. The following days were a blur of emotions I didn't know how to name. Every interaction with her felt like walking a tightrope. One moment, I was laughing at something trivial, thinking I could still pretend everything was normal. The next, her gaze caught mine, and I was undone again. I remembered every detail of that moment, the way the sunlight spilled through the window, lighting up her hair like it held 1,000 tiny sparks, the way her voice was firm yet tender, the way she had made me feel seen in a world that had trained me to hide. I struggled with myself. I wanted to run from the intensity of her confession, afraid of the vulnerability it demanded of me. I had been burned before, my heart had been a battlefield, and the thought of surrendering it again terrified me. Yet, every time I tried to avoid her, the universe seemed to conspire against me. A note slipped under my door, a knock on my window, a shared elevator ride with nothing to say except the weight of our silence. It became impossible to escape what was quietly growing between us. Weeks passed, and slowly, my defenses began to crumble, not because I was weak, but because she taught me that strength could look like honesty, like holding someone's hand through fear instead of avoiding it. She never rushed me, never demanded an immediate answer. Instead, she showed me love in its simplest form: presence, understanding, and unwavering faith that I could choose it if I dared. One evening, after a long day that left me feeling hollow, I found myself at her door again. This time, it wasn't about the clothes, or the mirror, or appearances. It was about the truth I could no longer deny. I knocked, and when she opened the door, I saw her waiting with that familiar spark in her eyes, the same warmth that had pierced me from the very first moment. I took a deep breath, feeling the years of hesitation, fear, and self-doubt collapse into one heartbeat of courage. I think I love you too," I whispered, my voice trembling not with fear, but with relief. She smiled, and in that smile, the world seemed to settle. No pretenses, no expectations, just us, standing in the quiet glow of our shared vulnerability. In that instant, I realized that the clothes, the makeup, the masks we wear to hide our flaws, all of it paled in comparison to the power of simply being seen and accepted. Life didn't suddenly become perfect after that night. We faced challenges, misunderstandings, and fears that tested our bond in ways that made us question everything. But there was one difference: we no longer faced them alone. Every argument, every tear, every silent moment became a thread weaving us closer, until our lives intertwined in a tapestry of trust and love. She became my anchor when storms came, and I became her harbor when the world threatened to overwhelm her. I often think back to that first day, standing at her doorstep, paralyzed by insecurity, and I marvel at how a simple, brutally honest statement, "Are you blind? I love you," could change the trajectory of a life. It wasn't just about love in the romantic sense, it was about the courage to be vulnerable, the bravery to embrace your truth, and the miracle of finding someone who sees you, fully and unflinchingly, and chooses to stay. If this story touched your heart, if it reminded you of someone who makes you feel seen or gave you hope that love can come quietly, yet powerfully, please engage with this video. Comment below with a line about the person who changed your life with kindness, and let the world hear your story.